What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another review. Today, we are starting a little bit different, kind of going back to the old days, because the newest movie from Fathom release is Skill House. Skill House is a movie that I saw it being promoted in theaters. There was a big billboard within the movie theater, a cardboard cutout. And so it's one of those where you kind of think, what is that? You haven't seen much about it, but then you see people like Bryce Hall and others kind of post on their social media or their name being brought up in it. So you're like, let's just see what it is. Problem number one that I had with this, and I'll get into the whole movie review, is that it's a Fathom movie. And unfortunately, with Regal, if you have the unlimited plan, it does not include Fathom movies. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but luckily I had a little bit left of a gift card, and so I didn't have to waste my own money. But Skill House is based on content creators that are kind of lured into this house, and they must complete these challenges that could cause harm to them. Otherwise, they fail, and you never know what's going to happen, which you kind of figure that out. And so when it comes to this, I will say it was not terrible. I thought it could have been terrible, but it wasn't. But this is a movie that I think would have been better off in a streaming service. Now, with Fathom movies, you have to pay the $12.99. And what I've learned is there's not a lot of people that go to them. But with this, I was the only one in the theater. But let's get into the pros and cons. I think a pro of this movie was that they had the writers of Saw on this film. I think you saw glimpses of that throughout the movie. Was it done as well as Saw? No. But it was there. You had a glimpse of what the direction of the movie could have been. I think the other pro, which I think is kind of comical, is that they are really poking fun at social media content creators, because they will do anything for fame. And so it doesn't matter who it is. Every day you open your phone, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, you always see some social media personality trying to get ahead or try to find themselves doing something to go viral. But let's talk about the cons. I think the biggest con, as I've already mentioned, is this should have been a streaming service film. Honestly, it would have fit perfect on Netflix, because when you look at what Netflix puts out, I think this is already getting poor reviews, but I think it also is because you're not getting a large enough audience based on it being a Fathom movie. And so when you look at it, it is not rated. So with a not rated film, obviously they can go a little bit further in what they do. But I feel like it was just one of those movies that had its funny moments. You kind of had a little bit of horror, but then you just kind of left thinking to yourself, it's more true because that's what social media people do. And so with this being put in a house, having to go through these insane challenges, I think it just fits what a 2025 personality is. But as far as rating, I kind of struggle with what I want to give it as a rating. Honestly, for me, I think it's going to fall in about a 2 out of 5 category. I think it's decent. It's not terrible, but it's not necessarily good by any means. And like I said, I think this is a movie that should have been on a streaming service. And so honestly, I would not waste your money to go see it in theaters. I would see it once it hits that streaming service. And so when I think of movies like this, one movie that comes to mind is Grandma's Boy. And it did so bad in the theater, But then after it was released on digital and DVD and things like that, the numbers started to flip as it got onto more audiences. So Skill House is out now. If you want to see it while it's in theaters, just know it is a Fathom movie. And so your unlimited pass may not work for it. I know Regal's does not. But make sure to check it out when it hits streaming. It's not terrible. It's one of those where you may just find yourself saying, that looks interesting, let's look at it. But Skill House is out now. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to go check out the other reviews I have posted, and I will talk to you all later.